welcome back to the final part of our Minmatar deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, but expert speaker, we haven't seen them in action yet.
Right.
We know about their past, their culture, their beliefs, expert speaker. But how does that translate to, actual power?
Exactly. So today, we're looking at the Minmatar military.
The sharp end of the spear.
And I gotta say, after learning all this, I'm kind of,
Excited to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, because it's not just spaceships and lasers, right?
No way. You got to understand their mindset.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they took that tribal warrior spirit, centuries of resistance,
Right.
and fused it with, whatever tech they could get their hands on.
So we're talking scrappy but effective.
Scrappy, resourceful, and
Like those underdog sports movies.
you got it.
Yeah.
They beat the fancy team with heart and hustle. I love those movies. But wouldn't that make them predictable?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, here come the Minmatar, all emotional.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Wouldn't that get them crushed against a more calculated enemy? Like, I don't know, the Caldari.
That's where you see their genius. They learned under the Amarr
Right.
that fancy doesn't always win.
True.
So they adapted. You see ancient tactics passed down for generations, blended with salvaged weapons, jury-rigged engines,
Just a unique style.
to say the least,
Yeah.
and effective.
But does it actually work? Like in real combat,
Yeah.
what do the sources say?
Let's talk about microjump.
Micro chunks.
One of their signature moves. Imagine their ships, small, fast,
Right.
suddenly appearing, disappearing.
Like teleporting.
Kind of popping in and out of a system, wreaking havoc.
Before the enemy can even react.
Exactly. It plays into that cultural adaptability, always moving, never staying put.
That sounds like a nightmare to fight against.
It is. But it also means they're pilots.
They gotta be.
Top notch. They're trained to think on their feet, exploit weaknesses.
So not just following orders.
No, it's a decentralized style, very much in line with their...
Tribal background.
You got it. But it also requires a lot of
Trust.
trust between crews. They operate almost like a family.
But hold on, we talked about those tensions, right?
Yeah.
In their society.
You think that might cause problems on the battlefield?
Yeah, I mean, what if a Sebiester pilot disagrees with a crucial captain?
Yeah. It can happen. But here's where that shared history
The Amarr.
becomes an asset.
Yeah.
They might argue, but facing an enemy.
The rivalry fades.
It fades. They have each other's backs. Because under the Amarr, that's all they had.
Powerful. So we're talking about a level of unity you don't see in, say, the Caldari Navy.
Very different cultures, very different approaches.
Okay, I'm really starting to see how the Minmatar are so resilient. But heart and hustle only get you so far, right?
True.
What about their technology? They can't just be running on scavenged parts forever.
They do have their own shipyards.
They do.
Oh, yeah. And they're known for their ingenuity. Remember that apocryphal technology we talked about?
Vaguely. That's the
The stuff that's rare, dangerous to use.
Right.
But when it works,
Gives them an edge.
the Gallente would kill for.
Wow. So high risk, high reward.
That's the Minmatar in a nutshell. They know they can't outproduce the Amarr or the Caldari.
They got to be smarter.
Exactly, but it's also a reflection of their spirit,
Yeah.
We'll take the gamble because we've got nothing left to lose but our freedom.
And they'll fight for it.
Oh, they'll fight tooth and nail.
I love it.
Yeah.
But we can't end this without talking about
The Valkyrs.
the Valkyrs. Okay, lay it on me. How do they fit into all of this?
The Valkyrs. A dark reflection of that Minmatar spirit. See, even with all their skill,
Yeah.
they needed something more during the rebellion, something more
Right.
ruthless. So they turned to their prisons.
Hold on. They took...
The most brutal, the most skilled killers
Yeah.
gave them a choice. Die for the Republic or kill for...
Wow. That's dark. But if they're so effective, why all the secrecy? What's the Republic hiding?
It's a tough one, even for the Minmatar. They need the Valkyr, their edge,
Yeah.
but they also fear it, so they control the narrative. Heroes forged from darkness,
But they're past.
buried. Makes you think, what happens to those warriors when the war's over?
Can they ever go back to a normal life?
After all that, I don't know. It's like, they won the war!
But some battles.
They never really end.
So we've reached the end of our deep dive. What have we learned? Are the Minmatar victims or victors?
I don't think it's that simple, and honestly, I don't think they'd want it to be.
What do you mean?
They've been through hell and back, more times than anyone should, and they're still standing.
Not just standing.
They're building, they're fighting, they're evolving. They're proof that sometimes the greatest strength comes from embracing the messy parts.
The complicated part.
The parts of your history that others would try to erase.
So they're not victims, they're not victors,
There's something new entirely.
And that's what makes them so fascinating. So much to learn from them, even with all their...
Their flaws, their contradictions.
Yeah, all of it. Well, folks, that's our deep dive into the Minmatar. We hope you've enjoyed the ride.
It's been a wild one.
It has. And remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole galaxy of information out there.
Keep digging, keep questioning.
And never underestimate those who fight for what they believe in.
No matter how messy that fight gets.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see the Minmatar.
In a whole new light.
See you out there, space explorers.